So I'm going to actually make something I was going to make this morning. I just never ever got there. So this is in my week on. So this is my. I promise that I will do a much bigger thing of the screen. In fact, let me bring it forward so you can actually see the screen a bit better. Okay, it's just at a different angle, so it's a little bit harder to actually lock in place. But there are three ways you can have the screen, and you can either have it sort of all modes and things, or you can have it all your what's planned in your cookie do, your weekly planner, or you can have a mixture. And when I was at training the other day, Nikki Banks, who's high up in Thermomix and does a lot to do with the training, she suggested this was a really good way. One thing to notice, you probably can't see it too up, says spice up your day, Mandy. And that's the third thing it's actually said to me when I've turned it on today. Anyway, I am going to hit this one because this is what I'm making, the prosciutto and sun-dried tomato muffins. Okay, and I can do an overview through here, which I've done just to collect the ingredients, but I'm just going to go start. Oh, and I'm going to put the oven on. It's a little bit slower to load than this, 200 degrees. I think this oven's a little bit hot, so I've gone a little bit. Okay, grease a 12-hole muffin tray, and I'll show you what I've done with that in a minute. All right, now I'll take the lid off, and it's teared it, okay? And it's asking for 80 grams of Parmesan cheese. I don't even know I've got enough there. Oh dear. All right, well, we're going to go, that's okay. All right, next, I'm going to pop the lid on. Oops, there. And we're going to grate. We dumped that one. All right, transfer 2 tablespoons to a small bowl. So there's my grated Parmesan. I'm just going to guess a little bit in here. And just to go on top. All right, so that's done. Next, leave the remaining Parmesan in the bowl. Yep. Add 60 grams of buckwheat. Now, let's hope this is opened up properly. I should have just take these things. Right, I'm just making a real mess of this. But I have got a jar to put it in. So I'm just going to take the top off. There we go. And we are 60 grams. I love these scales. So you see the green goes up there. There we go. All right, and it's coming along here saying, yes, that's done. And there's a tick. Okay, next. Going to mill for a minute on speed 9. So the lid's on, 1 minute speed 9. I don't have to touch that. All I do is this. Okay, so what I want you to have a look at, that's interesting. So if you touch the screen, it still stops. Now I can repeat that if I wanted to. But what I want you to look at next time we do something, and the little thing that comes up here And as well as the countdown there, you can see this going around here. Also, whilst I'm in things, I can scroll through. Okay, I'm just going to go next. Okay, show you what's happened in here, and I need to scrape this down a bit. There we go. That's our buckwheat. Scrape it down. New spatula. Okay. And I love it. Don't have to do tear again. Excuse me. I've just got to reach across. 200 grams of almonds purchased from the source. Okay. You see the green line going across, and it's going to have a tick. Here we go. Next. 10 seconds and speed 7. So again, it's set it there. I don't have to touch anything. Just set for that. All right. Now, I am just going to scrape. It hasn't told me to scrape down the sides, but I just am to get everything down the bottom there because it's going to receive a whole lot of stuff now. So that's the cheese, that's the buckwheat, and the almonds all milled up. Okay, fresh basil. So I've got some basil here. Leaves only. Okay. Just want to see if it's going to say, okay, I'm going to tick that one. Sun-dried tomatoes. So what I've actually done, I've got a mixture of sun-dried tomatoes and olives here. They're just going to go in. Otherwise, sometimes it goes across. Anyway, all about learning. Now it's 300 grams of cottage cheese, and I have failed on cottage cheese. I have 200 grams. So what I'm actually going to do is add a bit more water when we get there. Nor if I had yogurt, I would add yogurt, but I don't have yogurt. So it's a bit of an omission on my part. I'll do that. I'm going to add a bit of water now. Okay, gluten-free baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons. So that's 1.5. That's done. Another lot of water. So put this up. Oh no, Mandy, because I didn't press that. So I've got that done. Now my water, but I reckon that's about right. Okay. Now 5 eggs. So here are my eggs. One in. Eggs are done. Salt. Salt. That's done. Oh, that's all done. Okay, next. Mix 20 seconds, speed 4. See the green line go around that way? Back down there. Line each muffin mold with 1 slice of prosciutto and divide mixture evenly between the muffin molds. So I have actually done a bit of this before. I don't use 1 whole slice. So I've just got mine like that. I've done a bit of chopping. I'll pop those there. And then I've just got to divide this up. So come on, come on. And just think of it soon. Probably done with a ladle, but never mind. I don't seem to have a ladle. All right, so this is my mixture, and that is going to go in here. Now, I'm not too worried about there being less cottage cheese. I just hope it's not too runny, but I do know that often these are really quite big anyway. I do need to make sure I try and get some of the gubbins in there. The gubbins being the basil and the sun-dried tomato and everything, not just the other mixture. It's always tricky because you don't really know what's going to be in each one. It looks like I'm going to have extra mixture. Definitely going to have extra mixture. So this is just more lunchtime things, individual, as you can see. Just makes it so much easier when you're, well, for us, Andrew and I, when we just have to pull something out of the freezer. And he defrosts his overnight. Mine generally leave mine to defrost in the car on the day. There we go. I think we're done there. All right. Next, sprinkle with reserved Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to put a bit of this on these. I'll have to just do a couple of, ramekins or something. I don't have any more of these. I've got some mini muffins. I suppose I could do it in there, maybe. All right. So super simple. Loving the big screen, loving the navigation on it, getting used to it. After only 2 things, I'm going to start cooking, trying to do a main meal in it tomorrow night. All right, and then it says next, then it says 20 to 25 minutes. Now, there is the cook center on here, which is like on the TM6, we had the timer at the top. This black line here is the cook center, and I can go timer. And I want 20 minutes. And it is, I forgot what you call it, a tumbler. That's what it is. It's called a tumbler. And you just tumble up to 20 minutes. And I will pop these in the oven in just a sec and turn that on to 20. So really, it's very simple.